Happy holidays, YouTube. Thanks for coming back and visiting. I'm Bot, aka Bobby,
And I'm the Con, aka James.
and together we are.
So for this last video of 2022, we're filming this on New Year's Eve. So we're going to be talking about what we liked the most this year and a little bit of what we didn't like, but mostly what we liked. So we're going to start it off with the honorable mentions. And these are things that we liked the most that we purchased, but they might not have been enough to fit into the top 5, or they were bought from previous years. So we didn't think it was fair to include them in this year's running. So for me, one of my top ones that I got was BotCon 2002 Tfcons, which is right here. He's really cool. I always wanted this BotCon character from 2002 years past. I almost bought him a few years ago, and I actually got him as a Christmas gift from my dad. So props to him. It's a really cool figure, and I don't know if you know this, Bobby, but if you look at my screen, the sword flips into his hand.
That's really
So
cool.
it's pretty cool, right? Yeah, he's a repaint of Knight/Cheetor. So I've been wanting this for a while. He'll go great with my other Universe 1.0 shelf. So I'm quite pleased to have this in my collection.
I like that sword action there. That's kind of cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of hinders the movement in the arms because of the springs, but well, I'll make do. And again, this was not put on my list because it is from 2002, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, and then on to one of yours. And now, who is this, Bobby?
This is actually my number one honorable mention, which is Contact Shot. And I went ahead and took him out the case, but this is one of my favorite Transformers from when I was a kid. So going all the way back to Circa G1, but this is also one that is very hard to find. And I actually was able to pick it up from somebody while in LA for Tfcon. So very excited about it. Looks great. Unfortunately, Make Toys hasn't been making them anymore. I don't know why. I know we have one coming, or we had one come in from Hasbro, which I don't think holds a candle to this guy, but
It definitely does not.
This is a great figure. I have the Toy Hack stickers on here, which you'll probably see in a few of mine. But this is an amazing figure. I've wanted it for a couple of years now and was able to get my hands on it.
I agree. It's an amazing figure, and I almost picked it up when it was at retail, but they never released any of the other ones, and that would annoy me to have an incomplete set.
Yeah.
So another one that I've been wanting for a long time, that's one of my holy grails, I know we talked about this, is I believe it's the Generation Toys White Gorilla, which is the repaint of their Optimus Primal, excuse me. And the pictures do not do this thing justice. It's getting a little washed out with my light, but it has pearlescent paint all over it. It has chrome, but it's not a bright chrome. It's like a darker gunmetal chrome. The eyes light up. The swords are amazing. I already have this mold in Optimus Primal colors, so this is something I've been wanting for a long time, and I'm glad to finally have the Yeti in my collection. And again, I got this as a Christmas present as well for my grandmother this time, so I very appreciate it.
Love the grandparents.
Yep, so let's move on to one of yours.
So this one is one that was really as just a repaint actually of the figure that was the Skylinks or the Magna and Invicta from MMC. I absolutely love this repaint. Again, I have some Toy Hack stickers applied to it. Not good, not sure how good this is showing. I'll go back up a little bit there. But this guy is amazing. I was a big Skylinks fan as a kid, so I was very happy to get this repaint, and it is amazing. The colors look superb. It's very toy accurate, and this is something I've been waiting on all year, and so finally got my hands on it.
Well, I'm glad you did. It's a great mold, and I'm surprised you like it as much as you do with how stylized it is.
Yeah, I just love Skylinks. And Skylinks was always the kind of that stylized character anyway.
It didn't fit in with the rest of G1. You are correct.
Right.
So for my last honorable mention, I chose the Black Azalea, which my lovely wife purchased for me. Let's see if you could see her orange face. I absolutely love this figure. I've been wanting this for years, ever since it came out, and I didn't have the money back in 2017. And again, this would probably be number one if it didn't come out years past. So I am absolutely in love with this. I have a Decepticon female, fembot shelf, whatever you want to call it. So this is going to probably be the centerpiece. And I don't know what to say. It's gorgeous. It transforms well. It's an amazing figure.
Yes, and this one was a very big surprise to me. It's MMC's Navigant, aka Streetwise, and really the reason this made my list is primarily based off of its mode or its counterpart from X Transbots, aka Fuzz, which was so terrible. I was so upset with it. This figure is amazing in comparison. It's very clean, very easy to transform, and I just picked it up a couple of weeks ago, so maybe I'm having the nostalgia of just getting a new figure, but it just cleans up so well. It doesn't have the crappy arms that X Transbots did. The transformation is very fun, and it's just a great figure, and it made my list. And again, maybe probably because I'm a little bit upset with the XTB version and why couldn't it look like this? MMC is definitely leading the way with this.
I agree. I think it's a great looking combiner. Lim. So now on to the secret one that I kept from you that I think we both have, and that's Shuriken. I had to put this on this list. It's right behind me. It's right here. It's an amazing combiner. I quite enjoyed it. It has a lot of combiner kibble, but I think it just looks fabulous. So I had to put this on this list because I think it's well worth the money, especially when you get it on sale like we did.
You know, I am surprised that you added this one, and I'm curious about the rest of your list since I haven't seen it yet, but this is definitely a shocker. I know we had discussed this figure and it was kind of an impulse buy for both of us when we saw it and it was on sale. So glad it made your list.
Well, and honestly, this is a figure that I wanted when it came out. I just couldn't justify the price tag at the time. And now that that price has gone down and I was able to reap the benefits of a late credit, not a late tax, I really enjoyed this figure. Okay, so now let's get into the worst of the year. Now, these are the figures that disappointed us the most or we just played out, didn't like. So let's start off with yours, Bobby, and that is Dreamstar Toys High Dive. I believe that is its name.
Oh my gosh. So there is so much to say about this figure. Where do I start? Out the box, there was a tab that was broken off, and you can see here, there was a little clip. It was a soft plastic, and as soon as I opened the box, it was loose in the box. I contacted the company I bought it from, and as I started looking at reviews of this figure, there was several people who had the same experience. Not only that, but you can see there's gaps kind of all around. It doesn't really peg in cleanly here. This should fold in a little bit easier. And it was just really a pain. And I was very disappointed because I was in on all of these. I still am because I'm curious about the combiner, but this one was a huge disappointment for me.
Yes, I've seen some reviews on this that weren't so positive, but I've got to say it looks nice, especially in that plain mode.
The plain mode looks great if you don't look at it from the bottom.
Okay, like most Transform jets.
But just knowing that it's broken is upsetting.
Yes, I would have to agree. And now my worst figure of the year was the Ocular Max Blue Cliff Jumper. I don't remember the actual name, and I have him right here. I gave him his own symbol, and he's on here not because of the mold, but because of the quality of the plastic. It scrapes up on the, I don't know if you ever transformed it, but on the back right here, this whole section just gets scraped up as you transform it. What else? People have said the head just rips off, so I was very careful. I transformed it once and I will never be transforming it again because I did pick this up at Tfcon. It is a Tfcon exclusive. but I was just very disappointed with the quality of the figure, and which surprises me because Ocular Max is usually very, very good at their quality. So that's why I put this on here. It wasn't fun to transform, which is a lot of my list, is how fun it is to play with. So that is why I picked this.
And I believe his name was Imp.
Imp, you are correct. Yes, and he is an homage to Turbo, the
Yes.
Brazilian transformer, I believe. Which is another reason why I really like the thought of the character, but the toy itself, I do not like. And then my least favorite toy of the whole year, and you put this on your list too, which is why I only picked one, is the Toys EZ005 Destroyer. So I think it looks okay, but I'm not a big fan of this at all. It's not fun to play with. It scrapes its paint. So the legs get untabbed. You have to parts form the little crotch piece. I'm completely out on this set.
Oh, that's new news. So you're out on
Yeah.
the whole set.
Well, I mean, when we did the review, I was thinking about it, but now I think it's not worth the money.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, I had some issues with this. The transformation was very, very, very frustrating. And I mean, we can see here that it's not pegged in tightly. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, but I can't get it to go any closer than that. The lack of instructions and just watching a video and putting it on pause over and over and over again to try to figure out something was a problem. And even in the stand, I actually ended up breaking the stand because some of the things were pegged in so tight. So very upsetting with this. I am still in on the set so far. So I guess I'll just have to keep you posted on how that goes, James.
Yes, you will, because the transformation was not difficult. It was frustrating. Like you said, it was not fun at all. This is not a figure I will be picking up off the shelf to play with. And that's one of my main criteria.
Yeah.
So why don't we get away from all this negative stuff, since the new year is coming in, and let's start off with number 5. So who did you choose for your number 5?
So it's actually a combination of these guys. And I just really, really loved what X-Transbots did with these utility trucks. I only pulled out 2 of them. Inferno and Grapple are still in my case, but these were 2 of the 4 that really stood out to me. The posability of each figure is amazing. The quirkiness that X-Transbot usually puts in their transformation did not exist in this. It was a very fun transformation for both figures. The colors are really great. The Grapple, the yellows are a little off, and so that's why I excluded that one in particular. The accessories that come with each figure, Inferno comes with the flames and the water hose, and this one actually came with a little Target Master. It was just a really, really great few figures from X-Transbot that all released, around the same time. So I was happy to get all 4.
Yes, they do look great, especially that Artfire. He's always been my favorite version of the Inferno Mold Brothers. So I really like how those are.
Yeah, very, very
So
good.
for my number 5, I chose I think it's Zhejiang, I believe that's what it is. And it's the Cold Dragon, which is their Cryotech. This figure looks gorgeous. I don't have it out because it's so big and it's put away right now, but this figure is amazing. It looks gorgeous. The paintwork is amazing. It's literally probably going to be one of the centerpieces of my collection. The only reason why it's not higher up on the list is because I'm afraid to transform it because of the paint scraping and how the back panel with the wings has to completely rotate around everything else, and it is not fun to transform. But I had to put this as my top 5 because it just looks impressive.
I am very surprised, as much as you talk about this figure on previous videos and just in person, that I just knew it was going to be number 1. So I'm very curious about what your number 1 is.
This is not the figure for my Cryotech. I use Perfect Effect Cryotech. That is my Cryotech. Okay, I bought this one just because it is a Cryotech.
I got it. Okay. And
that one I got years and years ago when it first came out, so that would not be on this list.
And you picked this up at TFCon, correct?
No, I did not. I picked it up.
You were
right
telling me to get it at
TFCon.
TFCon.
I was telling you to get it, and I told you to get it at both TFCons.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe the third time's a charm. We'll see.
We'll see if they have it. I mean, it's a beautiful figure. That's, and it might go good with something that you have. All
Right.
right, let's move on to number 4.
And it's this guy. This was such a shocker to me. One, how fast all 6 bots came out. 2, how amazing all 6 bots came out. And 3, how amazing these 6 bots are in comparison to the ones that Hasbro has released. This is amazing. The posability of each individual character is great. Uh, there are a little bit of things with stuff popping off with the guns on his feet and things, but otherwise, a great combiner. Everything tabs in well, very enjoyable. I was very surprised. I just wasn't expecting it, especially at the price point. It was amazing. And actually, I'm thinking about buying another set just to have it each one in individual bot mode.
Yes, I think this set is amazing. I hope one day to own it, but as of right now, I will stick with what I have. But this does look amazing. And like you said, 100 times better than Takara's release.
Yes, yes. 2023 is looking like a train bot in your future.
Hopefully, maybe they'll make a cool repaint that I'll like
Oh gosh.
in neon colors.
Oh gosh.
So for my number 4, I chose Mocha, Big Firebird Mocha. This is a fembot who I am making a Decepticon, and I'm calling her Inertia. And she's just a great figure all around. She's got diecast where she needs it. I wanted the nice C. I wasn't able to get it, but this is, in my opinion, a much better version. I love the alt mode. It's like a futuristic racing car. The bot mode is great. I really enjoy this. This will be right there alongside the Ocular Max Stealth Azalea in my collection. There's, if you look at her thigh, it says nice. That's everything I think about this figure.
That is, I like the color scheme on that one. I don't have that figure, so I'll have to see it in person one day.
Yes, you should. It's a very nice figure. And it comes with a ton of accessories. The interchangeable hands, the whole 9 yards. It has that lance that looks like a parasol. It's just really cool all around. So I didn't take her down because she's buried behind on the shelf, but she's really cool. So let's move on to number 3.
So I went with X-Transbots Virtus. And this is actually the mode that sells it for me. This helicopter mode is amazing. And, just the accessories that came with it as well, even though it's wobbling right now, it shouldn't be. This was a seller for me on this mode. I have the Ocular Max version. I have the Fans Toys Apache, and they all have their good and bad, but when it all was said and done, this one won for me. The shoulders was the diecast shoulders chipping was definitely an issue, but X-Transbots sent out replacements of plastic shoulders so you can get rid of that chipping, which was perfectly fine. But overall, I just love this figure. Overall, in all 3 modes, this was a great figure.
Yes, and I think the thing I like the best about it is, like you said, that accessory for the helicopter. I haven't seen that on anybody else releasing anything like that before, but I think that's a really cool accessory.
Yes.
So my top 3 spot went to the Power Baser duo, and these are the 2 that I got. I got the Fire Guts Ginrai as well as Delta Baser at Tfcons Chicago, and I like them both a lot. And again, when I was figuring out this list, I was saying, what did I play with the most this year? And these are 2 of the most that I played with. They're fun to transform. They're easy to transform. I like the armor gimmick. Everything about these guys are really cool. And I like the story behind both of them. I got them both at a TFCon. So I had to put these guys on this list.
These almost made my list. And I think the reason that they didn't make my list is because I wasn't really looking forward to them prior to getting them, besides the exclusive at Tfcons Chicago. And I
Mhm.
think after getting them and playing with them, then I was like, oh, this is a whole different level.
Yeah.
But in terms of anticipation throughout the year of trying to get them, I wasn't really excited, and that's the only reason they didn't make my list. But I do agree with you, great figures
Yes.
and very much enjoyable to play with.
Yes. And that's one of my big things, which I think is going to be apparent very soon. All right. Now on to number two. That's a very interesting figure. Who's that?
And this is Fans Toys Chomp. And the thing that got me about this figure is that I actually wasn't really excited about getting it. I knew I was going to get it because I love headmasters. And once I took it out the package, I was amazed at how much I enjoyed this figure. The paint is amazing. Transformation is very intuitive. I love every aspect about it. And I was very surprised. I was actually blown away by how much I enjoyed the figure. So this shot up for me, and it's just a really, really, really good figure. It's very sturdy. And again, it cleans up really well as well.
Yes. And this almost made me buy my first Fans Toys figure with this guy, but I decided against it because it's Fans Toys. It's a little too tuned for me.
This is right up your alleys in the color scheme.
You are correct about that. And it looks really good. I do like it. And I am glad to have seen one in person at TF. So my number two was, where is he? Right here. Mastermind Creations reformatted Optus Nox, which is a repaint of their, I think it's Idiocracy Optimus Prime as Nemesis colors. Now, I don't really like the vehicle mode on this figure, but the reason why I had to put it as high as I did is because I was thinking, have I been playing with all year? And it kept coming to this guy. I picked this guy up just to mess with him. The pistons, the posability and everything is just top notch with this figure. I wish more companies, excuse me, would do more figures like this. I absolutely adore this guy, and that's why he's my number two. I mean, I still have him by my bedside. He's not even on a shelf because I just pick him up when I'm in bed and mess with him. So I would highly recommend getting somebody, if somebody wants this mold, get it. It's a lot of fun. And obviously I'm going to like the Nemesis version. Hopefully they'll make a Toxitron version, but we'll see.
I could only expect for you to have a Nemesis Prime as your top 2 or 3.
Yes, no, and this, I really enjoyed this mold. And like I've said before, I was really thinking about what I played with the most. And as far as hours played with, this one is number one.
Nice.
So let's finish this off. Let's go on to our number one spot. What about this, Bobby?
Greetings. I am Optimus Prime.
I mean, I think that should say it in itself. And the Roboson, and I may have to back up here with my hand. The Roboson Optimus Prime is amazing.
Greetings.
Everything about him is amazing. The ability to program in new animations, the catalog of animations are amazing in itself. I am very upset that the trailer has been delayed for me for so long. It was supposed to come out in middle of December. I now got a message saying that it was going to be middle of January. So I am looking forward to that. But this is everything you would want in a Transformer, or even a remote control car. You can drive it with your phone. It transforms. It has all types of settings in the phone where you can do all the types of animations. And this was just a great figure. And being the bot, this fit right up my alley. Good job, Roboson.
I can see why you would like this. This would not be in my collection. It has no place in my collection, but it is a very cool figure and it's very unique. Oh, there
He
he
got
goes.
mad at you for saying that. See,
Yeah.
he already
Well,
knew.
He's right. He's right at home. He's right at home with you at your house. You don't need to come over here. He's good. So my number one, I think we talked about this before, is the TFC Ice Wolf, which I am calling Ablation. I love this figure more than I should. It's so cool. The posability is awesome. And yes, I already have been green, but it still made the number one spot this year. I could play with it. It has a whole bunch of different posabilities. It fits into my storyline perfectly. I love this from head to its toe to all of the different little pieces. And, you know, I know when we looked at it, we talked about the different pieces and we didn't like some of the pieces or whatnot, but I've grown to love it and it's built superbly. It's probably one of the best quality figures that I own currently. So this take this top spot, and I got the desert version coming on its way.
So I didn't think about it, but I am not surprised that this is your number one, though I am surprised that this is your number one. I do agree. You did talk me into picking up this figure, and I enjoyed it so much that I actually ordered the desert one as well as the Chinese. I can't remember what his name is, but he's orange or red and yellow. And
yes, he's like the Monkey King, I think.
The Monkey King, like, yes.
Yeah.
So I ended up ordering that one as well. And if I see the green one, I'll probably pick that one up as well. So I do agree, playability is a lot of fun, and I do really enjoy it. And again, I nicknamed my winter one Sub-Zero and my desert one Scorpion. So that's a little tribute to my love of Mortal Kombat, but very good figures, and glad that they made it your list. And you can hear my Optimus is a little bit upset still at you.
That's fine, he can be, because I think Ablation would be mad at you for putting a non-posable figure on your list. So there you have it. That was our best and worst of this year. We hope you guys enjoyed. Let it sound off in the comments. Let us know if any of these made yours, if you're going to be picking any of these up, and share this video if you'd like. Get us out there a little bit more, and like and subscribe as always.
And, you know, we want to say Happy New Year. Please come back and visit us in 2023. And as always, till all debates are won.
See you guys.